Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a flip through of my 2023 planner. If you're interested in seeing my planning system for 2023, please stick around. I am so excited to finally be sharing my 2023 planner with you all. I have been setting this thing up and getting so excited about it and so looking forward to sharing what I've put together. Similarly to 2022, I'm going to be using an Archer and Olive notebook as my catch-all planner. Now in 2022, it was the first time I had ever tried a notebook as a planner. I kind of fell in love with using a dot grid notebook. I feel like it allows me to be very creative. I feel like it allows me to titrate how decorative I want to be while still maintaining functionality. And I knew that I wanted to stick with a notebook for 2023. Definitely wanted to. One thing I was unsure about was what size I was going to go with. I really enjoyed the B5 size, but sometimes I felt like I didn't need as much space as I had, and so I really wanted to give A5 a try for the new year. I purchased an A5 notebook from Archer and Olive, which is where this notebook is from as well. I actually fell in love with it. It was a collab with, I believe, the Mint Gardener. I set it up, not all of it, but a bunch of it, and then I didn't like it. I just felt like the size was too small for me. Not so much for the weekly spreads, but for a lot of the other kind of intro spreads and pages that I have in my planner. So after being a fair amount of the way into the setting up process, I decided to ditch it. I had fortunately purchased this B5 notebook from Archer and Olive in the off chance that I didn't like A5 size, and I'm so glad that I did. I absolutely love this notebook. This is the Vintage Bee design. I've been obsessed with this design since I first learned about Archer and Olive. I do have this in A5 size, which I actually use as like a swatching notebook and stuff. I haven't done all the swatching in there that I want, actually. There's so much more swatching I want to do in that notebook. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I am so excited to be using it as my 2023 planner and excited to be sharing with you all what I put together. Now, I did have a very distinct idea for my cover page when I kind of started thinking about the year 2023. And I'm so excited to have been able to kind of make that idea come to life. I am a huge fan of the show Lost. If you know the show Lost, it's a wild ride, but I love it. I'm genuinely, it's my favorite television show. I don't know that I'll ever love a show more than I love Lost. It is a character-driven show. There's a ton of interesting plot, but that show is a character show. If you like characters, if you're into shows that really dive deep into characters, you would love Lost. It's so incredible. And a big thing in Lost are these specific numbers. And when I realized what year it was going to be, I realized that coincided with one of the numbers. And so that was kind of the basis behind my cover page. I really did just stick with that theme for my cover page. You'll see that the rest of my intro pages are not at all themed around the show Lost. They're much more generic, but I couldn't resist the cover page. I really couldn't. And so here it is. I'm so excited about this. So basically, the numbers for Lost are 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, and 42. And so obviously it is going to be 2023, and I decided what a better way to have an intro page than to have all of the numbers written out, make the 23 a little bit larger so that it stands out, and have some ocean waves on the page. I hand drew these numbers myself. I did use a ruler for the straighter edges. This sticker here is from, according to Allie, I think it's called the California Coast sticker. It's beautiful. And then on this page here, I decided to put a sticker that I got off of Etsy that says "Not Penny's Boat." It is one of the key moments in Lost. It's one of my favorite moments in Lost with two of my favorite characters, so I thought it would be perfect to put that there. Moving forward from these pages, we are generic all the way. So the first thing I have here is a grid spacing guide. This is a little bit different than the one I did last year. I wanted to make it a little bit more minimal, but in the end, I don't know that I actually accomplished that. I do basically have halves, thirds, and fourths written out vertically and horizontally, and you see the little numbers in each bar, and those numbers are basically how many spaces in the dot grid system. Most of them I basically did options where there's no space between the rows or columns, and then options where there is, so that's why you'll see that there's 2 for each halves, thirds, and fourths. I also put together this little ruler for myself. So basically I can pull this out of my planner and bring it to each one of my pages when I'm writing things, when I'm putting spreads together, and it has all of my vertical spacing, and then on the back side it has all of my horizontal spacing. I put a little piece of washi tape here so I can stick it back into my notebook when I'm not using it, and if this becomes unsticky I can just put a new piece of washi tape on it. Next on this side here, we have my 2023 year at a glance. I basically just went through January through December, wrote in all of the numbers, tried to be as neat as humanly possible, which is always really difficult for me with numbers. I did also include the week of the year. That was something that I really wanted to do because it's something that a lot of times I like to include in my weekly spreads. I did have a little bit of an error here in February. Realizing that it's still the 5th week of the year here, but I was fortunately able to use a small piece of white paper to kind of cover it up. Moving forward, we get into my future log, and this is set up exactly how it was in my 2022 bullet journal. This setup is similar to something that I saw from Joshi Curran here on YouTube. I really love how simplistic this is. You basically just have a section for each month, and as you can see, I kind of have different spacing, and that's just to get this to fit on 3 pages basically. So January through April on the first page, May through August on the second page, and then on the back we have September through December. Next, I have a tracker that I did not have in my 2022 bullet journal, which is, a period tracker. Very simple tracker. I basically have 1 through 31 listed here on the side, as well as all of the months of the year listed across the top. And if I have my period on that day, on that month, I will basically either do a check mark, or maybe I'm thinking of getting those like dot markers. I don't have them, but I'm thinking of getting them, at least a couple of them, because I think they would be helpful for this spread and some spreads that I'm doing in my reading journal. As you can see too, I did kind of stick with a similar color theme. So there's blue in here, blue in my future log, blue in my period tracker, blue in these pages here. So these pages are all unique to this notebook. Not unique in general, but I didn't use them last year. This is also another idea from Joshi Curran. It's 23 23s in 2023. So basically what I did is I numbered the side here 1 through 23, and I put in 23 different things. I did kind of write them backwards in a way, or at least it's backwards to me in the way my mind works, but it made it look a little neater by doing that. And if I zoom on in here for you all, the 23 things are yoga classes, restaurants tried, closing my 3 rings on my Apple Watch, pounds lost, 150 ounces of water in a single day, $50 donated, more than 30 minutes of exercise, new shows tried, social outings, PTO from work, meaning time off, new YouTube subscribers, savings challenges completed, chemical exfoliant. I don't use physical exfoliants. I only use a chemical one on my face, so I want to try to do that maybe twice a month. Pieces of clothing donated, loads of laundry done. That is a hard one for me. I hate doing laundry. Face masks, vegan days. I'm a vegetarian, so vegan is not far off. $1,000 saved, no spend days, movies watched, podcast episodes listened to, YouTube videos posted, and books read. Some of those I definitely think are doable for me. Others I think are going to be a stretch, but that's what putting that spread together is about. Sorry, I'm trying to get this focused. Okay. On this side of the page, I just have a very simple spread that says to watch and to listen to, just a way for me to keep track of any movie or TV show I want to check out, any podcast or song I want to listen to. I don't have books in here because I have a separate reading journal, and in that reading journal I have a TBR list. Next is also something new for me, and that's my year in pictures. I've seen people do this a bunch on YouTube, and I really wanted to give it a try. Basically, I have a box for every month of the year. It goes onto the back side, and each month I will print out a picture from that month and post it in here. Then we're going to get into the social media section of my planner. I decided for this year that I was going to put my monthly social media spreads at the beginning of the planner, and then I wasn't going to have separate weekly spreads for social media. What I was going to do is just include any weekly tasks I have to do throughout the week for social media in my regular weekly spreads. So I put a few pieces of washi tape down here. I really liked the way that this looked, and I stamped out social media section. Here we're getting into my growth tracker, so for Instagram and YouTube, and then income tracker. I do have a monetized account here on YouTube. I've shared before that I don't make a ton of money from YouTube, but any money that I do make, I want to make sure I'm keeping track of. Same thing with Instagram. You can do reels now, and they can be monetized. And then Etsy. Etsy I usually lose money on, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Anytime I do make money, though, I want to make sure I'm keeping track of it. And then it's going to get into monthly spreads. And I probably could have done this in a way that saved paper, but I don't care. I like the way it looks. So basically you're going to see that each page has a cover page, which is a very, very simple, and then a quote page. And I stuck with pink. As you can tell, we're transitioning from the blue for my kind of generic yearly stuff to pink for social media stuff. And so what I did is I basically chose a different type of washi tape to put along the edge here. I used these month stickers from Create with Mandy for each month, and then a quote sticker over here. I haven't been commenting on where any of these stamps are from, and I apologize for that. Basically, these letter stamps that I've been using a bunch are from StudioCalico. This like splatter stamp is from Amazon. And these numbers are from StudioCalico, StudioCalico, StudioCalico. This kind of abstract stamp is from EverydayExplorersCo, and that's the one that you'll see me using in my whole social media section. After that kind of cover page, quote page, it goes right into a monthly spread, and each monthly spread looks the same. I basically use some very neutral washi to decorate. The title of the month is in pink. I wrote out my my monthly spread, and then I have a key over on the side here. And then it goes straight into February. So as you can see, I chose a different kind of washi, but the stamping looks very similar, and then the monthly spread looks very similar as well. Now we're heading into March. And one thing I did do in these monthly spreads is I kind of like extended the lines out. I don't know if you can see that. I had seen Joshi Curran do that in her habit trackers, and these like little tiny habit trackers, and it looks so cute. And so I decided to give it a try for this, and I do like the way that it looks. Then we're moving forward into April. Our monthly spread for April. May. Monthly spread for May. And then lastly we have June. So I only did the first 6 months of the year. I don't think this bullet journal is going to last me beyond the first 6 months of the year, just because of how many pages I use for the intro section and the social media section. So I only did monthly spreads for this first 6 months of the year. And then we're going into my calendar section, or my actual monthly and weekly sections. So I did do a little cover page here that says this is for January through June, a quote on the other side here. These circle stamps are all from Ink Road Stamps. The January and June are from HeidiSwapp. This quote here is also from HeidiSwapp. This splatter stamp is from Amazon. And that's as far as I got. So I will be doing a January cover page with quote page. And as you can see, I've labeled all the pages for myself. My currently page will be here. I'll have a 1-page monthly spread. and then it'll go into my weekly spreads. The reason that I haven't done the intro pages for January yet are because I really want to make my monthly cover pages, quote pages, currently page, monthly spread cohesive. I want to decorate them the same, so that each month has a little bit of like a different theme, but they're decorated the same on each of these first 4 pages. And what I decided to do was basically use alcohol ink stickers from According to Allie, the floral line art from According to Allie, month script stickers from According to Allie, and then I was going to add in washi and quotes from whomever. And I made a huge order on Black Friday. I haven't received it yet. I'm filming this before the new year starts, obviously. And so once I do get that order in from According to Allie, I'll be able to put my January cover page, quote page, currently page, and monthly spread together. I did literally label all of this just to see how far I could get in this notebook. And so I have January, February, you can see March, April, May, all the way through June. And then after June, I basically am going to have enough to have notes pages. This is quite a bit of notes pages. And you might be wondering, well, Jennifer, just keep labeling the pages. Why would you just use these as note pages? The reason why I'm going to use them as note pages is because if I put in 6 months worth of social media planning, I counted it out, there's basically like 3 or 4 pages left after that. So it's not really worth it to do 6 months worth of social media planning in here and then not be able to plan for that next 6 months in my regular weekly spreads in here. So I really am just going to use this for this first 6 months of the year. I'm going to have notes pages in the back. Surprisingly enough, I think I'll get a decent amount of use out of these notes pages. I used the last several pages in my current B5 notebook for 2022 as note pages. I actually wish I had more. And so I want to have note pages in here. I do utilize them. So I kind of counted everything out. And, you know, who knows, there might be some weeks where I just do a 1-page spread. So I'm not going to go through and like do my monthly cover pages for each month all at once, because you never know. But I wanted to make sure that I kind of timed it all out, counted it all out to kind of see where I was at. And that is it for my 2023 setup in my B5 Archer and Olive notebook. I love the way this setup happened. I'm so excited with it. I cannot wait to use it. It's like motivating me to use it. Cannot wait for the new year. Cannot wait to plan in this. I hope you all enjoyed this setup video, or flip through, I should say. If you have any questions or comments about how I use my B5 notebook or the materials that I used, I will try to include as many of those materials down below, but you can always put a comment in the description, comment down below as well. And as always, everyone, please be safe. Bye-bye.